Welcome back, Tribe. I have a video here from China Observer. It says many foreign beauties enter China's dating market, causing panic among Chinese leftover women. So apparently, I don't know. The comment said that this was like CCP propaganda, potentially, just how strong this push has been. But it says from Ukraine and Russia to Iran and Peru. This influx of women are screwing up the local dating markets. Let's see.
是的，相亲一角呀，出现了。
China's older single women are facing growing pressure. A wave of foreign women have entered China's matchmaking scene. From Ukraine and Russia to Iran and Peru, from Germany and Sweden to South Korea, the influx has created a highly competitive market. What worries many Chinese women even more is that these foreign women are not asking for cars, houses, or bride prices. Most of them are also Gen Z. One Russian woman was seen at a matchmaking corner in Hangzhou looking for a husband.
你觉得像我这样的男生可以吗？
Do you think a guy like me would be okay? Take a look at Lina from Russia. She's 1.7 meters tall, weighs 55 kilograms, and works as an actress and model in Hangzhou. She speaks most of the Chinese language, along with Russian.
Actress and model, huh? All right. Pay for play.
And English. Do Russian women expect a bride price when they get married?
No bride price, but the guy needs to be financially stable.
How much money do you think is enough?
I make my own money too, so as long as he can take me out for good meals, buy me gifts on my birthday, and we can travel together, that's enough.
What if there's no house after marriage, and you have to take out a mortgage together and pay it off over 20 or 30 years? Would that be okay?
Yes, that's fine.
Okay.
What's the most important quality in a man for you? Looks, height, income, education, or personality?
Hard work is the most important. He needs to have a positive and motivated attitude.
嗱，各位你哋可能估唔到。
A German woman born in the 2000s, 1.76 meters tall, was also seeking a match. She owns 2 apartments, graduated from Guangdong University of Chinese Medicine, and is not asking for a bride price. An Iranian woman of Persian descent listed her requirements. No bride price, already owns a home and a car, knows how to cook, wants children, and works in foreign trade with a stable income. Given her profile, it is no surprise that many parents have taken an interest.
有想过嫁到中国来吗？
In a random street interview in Shenzhen, several Russian women said they hope to find a Chinese husband and settle in China. They describe Chinese men as good-looking but a bit shy. Most notably,
they got the look down packed. I told you these are professional. Look at that. They know the target audience. They know the market. They're going to snatch up one of these guys. You know, their country's at war right now. All their men are off to, front lines, most of them. Well, not the Muscovites in the St. Petersburg, but the rest of rural Russia and the outskirts, they're off on the front line dying. Their economy's in tatters for the average person. It actually sucks to live there. Why wouldn't you go to China, where they're on the upswing, where they got money? They got their own economic problems, but you see what the Chinese city looks like? Only Moscow and St. Petersburg really looks like this. The rest of it is a destitute hellhole, dude. It looks like you're stepping in the 1970s. It's all a game, bro. They're opportunistic. I told you guys, women are super pragmatic when it comes to dating. They're not romantic whatsoever. They take the best option they possibly can. There is no loyalty. None of that shit. To blood, to soil, to nation, to any of that shit. They don't care. I go to China, get me a rich Chinese businessman, be treated like an absolute spoiled princess. Look at the outfit, bro. We know. And now the super entitled Chinese women that want like bride prices, that want cars and multiple properties are being outcompeted. What in the world?
Said they hope to find a Chinese husband and settle in China. They describe Chinese men as good-looking but a bit shy. Most notably, they all emphasize that they do not require a bride price. For many older unmarried women in China who once believed they had strong prospects, these developments have come as a shock.
太可怕了！外国女人正在组队抢中
This
国
is
男人。
terrifying. Foreign women are teaming up to win over Chinese men. Do you know what their requirements are? No house, no car, no bride price. They're willing to work hard alongside their husband, have children, and take care of household chores. They can even keep working to help support the family after marriage. With standards like these, how are Chinese women supposed to compete?
Dude, it has to be like a psyop from the CCP, you know? Think about it. Your women are like out of control with the bride price, with the demands. You have a gender that's further conflicted by the one-child policy, where you have overwhelmingly amount of men that will never have any woman, so they have to go to like Southeast Asian countries to find somebody, or you import forward women like this, and you artificially lower the, quote, demands through competition. I mean, imagine pushing this kind of news nationally all over China, and then like, what would be the reactions of the like local women? Sir, it's an interesting way to solve a problem.
This woman, who holds a master's degree from the West, shared her concerns.
你害怕那些國外的女生來我們
An older single woman shared her concerns.
I'm really scared that these foreign women are coming to China to take our men. I'm already 26 and I want to find someone and get married as soon as possible.
發現現在很多國外的女人
I've noticed that so many foreign women are coming here and competing with us for Chinese men, and they are already settling down. Some of them have had 3 or 4 kids with Chinese husbands, and they didn't ask for a bride price or a house. I really don't understand what they're after.
A 35-year-old woman shared that she had previously turned down many eligible men because they could not meet her expectations of a 300,000 yuan bride price and a 20,000 yuan monthly salary. Now, she regrets it, realizing how competitive the matchmaking market has become. She admitted that the situation is overwhelming. Many people are curious. What exactly is attracting foreign women to Chinese men? One commentator explained that some Western women see Western men as too carefree and South Korean and Japanese men as overly traditional. In contrast, Chinese men are seen as hardworking, caring, and family-oriented, making them ideal husbands. With this shift, Chinese men are now in high demand, and the era of them having to chase after women may be coming to an end. One Ukrainian woman, Yulia, was fortunate to find a Chinese husband who is deeply devoted to his family. Born into a wealthy household, she married a man from Inner Mongolia who is 9 years older than her. She did not ask for a bride price and even contributed 50,000 Ukrainian hryvnias as part of her dowry. After marriage, her husband treated her with great care, and they soon had a baby. However, when the war in Ukraine broke out, Yulia's grandparents' city was hit by airstrikes. Worried for their safety, her husband urged her to convince them to move to China, assuring her that he would cover their expenses and take care of them.
Look, you see that? Got reunited with her family, war-torn, war bride type shit happening. Look, look, when you demand too much, you get nothing. When a woman is willing to settle for a man, not even settle, bro. When you're just coming to the table, she paid. She brought 50,000 of her Ukrainian money. I don't know what that translates to in the currency exchange, but she brought some finances too. She's being a good woman. Obviously, there's leverage here. Fucking war-torn country. Parents are getting bombed and shit. It's like, obviously, why not go to China and get a good, hardworking man that's sick of women that are telling him, the local women, telling him that he needs to have a car, he needs to have apartments, multiple houses, he needs to be making this much and pay me like $50,000 on top of bride price. Cool, you lost. You just lost. She just gave birth to that to that man's kid. Now he's bringing the face, he's doing his duties as a husband. Look, I don't know what the divorce rate is in China, but I know it's pretty low. So the chances that this all goes bust on him compared to the West is damn near 0. You see? I had a feeling that this would happen. Forget the Ukrainian side with the war bride stuff, but just imagine that young women that aren't brainwashed by liberal ideals or feminist oriented can go overseas into very saturated markets where this kind of mentality is rampant and clean house. I knew it. It's just, this is the woman's version of winning, passport bro style. This is passport sis. Going while you're young, beautiful, submissive, and offering the men what they want, you get snatched up in environments like this.
In their old age. After much persuasion, the grandparents agreed to relocate. Once in China, the grandson-in-law not only bought them a home, but also provided them with attentive care, treating them like his own family. Overwhelmed with gratitude, Yulia's grandfather often teared up and told him, "I think Yulia is really lucky to have married her." A few months before, a young man from Shanxi married 20-year-old Russian bride Solomanka Olga.
Damn.
His family treated her with warmth and kindness.
Damn, there you go.
And their married life has been filled with happiness. Another Russian woman who moved to a rural village in Guangxi has embraced a peaceful countryside life.
完了后说现在去做
Come pick some sweet potatoes. The tangerines I'm eating were picked fresh. What about you? They're great. There's no way I can finish them all. I'm full now. I'll help you pick some.
Bro, China bro, like, look, China bros are winning. American bros are just straight up L's, dude, losing hardcore unless you go overseas. There's no women coming over to the United States to find men like this, hardworking men, this shit, because it's a degenerate wasteland culturally. It's on the decline. Why not go to a place that's like due to be the number one economy in the world sometime soon-ish? I mean, their cities look incredible. People always comment some shit like tofu dregs. Like, yeah, they exist here and there. It's a stain on their country, but dude, the rest of those cities, the mega cities, they all look incredible. It's their mega cities look like what we wish our cities look like in the West, you know, as if we don't have our bad degenerate air. You can't even walk in entire neighborhoods at night, entire sections of a city in the United States in daylight. Forget at night, in daylight, bro, because that's how fucking depraved it's become. So I used to believe hardcore in like the propaganda against China until I had some friends go there and I spoke with them and I saw other videos from another perspective, dudes that didn't care politically one side or the other, just straight up doing travel vlogs, visiting. And here's what I'm seeing with my own eyes. It completely changed my opinion. As usual, boys, go and see for yourself. There's a lot of propaganda going around.
There's also Minas, an Italian woman praised as the most down-to-earth foreign woman. Minas hails from a wealthy family in northern Italy and grew up in a life of comfort. At 20, she came to China to study and met Kanong, a man from Guangxi. Born into a poor rural family, Kanong worked hard to become a photographer. Minas was moved by his kindness, sincerity, and eventually married him, settling in his rural hometown. Initially, many doubted their relationship, believing that Minas, with her beauty, would not permanently settle with a rural man. Moreover, even if they loved each other, they feared she would be overwhelmed by the challenges of rural poverty. Contrary to expectations, Minas quickly adapted to and embraced rural life. She mastered various skills, including planting rice, fishing, harvesting fruit, and even driving a tractor. Her kindness shone as she cooked Chinese dishes and shared them with the village elders, endearing herself to the entire community. Today, the couple has 2 beautiful children, and Kanong has attracted millions of fans by sharing their happy rural life online. Some people have questioned Mina's decision, suggesting that she should move to a big city to pursue a more exciting life. In response, Mina stated that she is genuinely happy in the village. She loves the beautiful landscapes, the warm community, and most importantly, the love and care from her husband. She described her life as peaceful and fulfilling.
You see, bro, the simple things, away from the cities and the degeneracy. You got to find people that are mentally aligned in this way. And all the degenerates watching, the millions watching, like, you need to move to the city. You guys need to change your life. You need to upgrade. You need to go into the rat race, the Mouse Utopia experiment of big metropolis where you're going to be fucking depressed and stressed out.
Different people have different aspirations. Some prioritize material wealth, while others seek emotional fulfillment. Minas clearly falls into the latter category, a mindset that may be difficult for those focused on bride prices, houses, and cars to understand. Somewhere along the way, Chinese men have gone from being overlooked to being highly sought after. Even when traveling or working abroad, they often attract the attention of foreign women who approach them directly. One such case involved a Chinese businessman in Russia. During a business meeting, a Russian lawyer unexpectedly introduced her daughter, a second-year university student, and suggested that she marry him and move to China. The businessman remarked,
大家好，我这几天正好在
His daughter is absolutely beautiful, almost 20 years younger than me. At first, I thought the lawyer was joking, but after getting a translator to confirm, I realized it was true. I was completely shocked. A Ukrainian woman named Vero met a Chinese man online. The two had a strong connection, and eventually she traveled across thousands of miles to China to meet him in person. The topic of international marriages and welcoming foreign brides has sparked widespread debate.
Of course,
online discussions have split into different camps, with heated arguments on both sides.
Of course.
Some Chinese women have criticized the trend, claiming that these foreign brides are disrupting the local marriage market. Some have even taken an extreme stance, equating international marriages to human trafficking. However, many men support the trend. Some have pointed out that the foreign wives, especially those from Southeast Asia, are hardworking and have fewer demands, making them well-suited for a stable family life.
Damn.
This is particularly true for young...
Hardworking with less demands. They're suffering from what? Yes, indeedy. It's happening all over the world, all over the developed world. You see, people are losing touch with their gender norms, their expectations in a relationship. And they're living a terminally like online life that's completely disconnected from the real world. And this is what happens. Boom.
Young men in rural areas where the financial burden of bride prices, housing, and cars can be overwhelming. For them, marriage often means depleting their family's entire savings, making foreign marriages a practical alternative. Despite the ongoing debate, the trend of Chinese men marrying foreign wives continues to grow. In Guangxi and Yunnan, a large number of single men have married women from Vietnam, Cambodia, and Myanmar. A Chinese man shared his experience.
讨老婆媳妇的好处
Only those who have married a Lao wife truly understands the benefits. This is my wife. She cooks 6 dishes for me every day, and I've gained over 10 pounds because of her cooking. Lao women are just like any other women. They have their own thoughts and emotions. If you treat them well, they'll be kind and caring in return.
All men want.
It's all about mutual respect. Many people have pointed out that China's severe gender imbalance, with 32.4 million more men than women, will inevitably put pressure on the marriage market. Marriages with Southeast Asian women may help reduce the number of unmarried men and even contribute to an increase in birth rates. According to China's Ministry of Civil Affairs, in 2020, 10,054 Chinese men married foreign women, while only 7,137 Chinese women married foreign men.
Not that big of a
The
number.
percentage of Chinese men marrying foreign wives has now reached nearly 60%. In Guangxi, the number is even more striking. 92% of international marriages there involve Chinese men marrying foreign women. A popular saying in Guangxi reflects this trend. If you can't find a wife, a Vietnamese bride is the solution. No bride price, no need for a house, and they're good at both housework and socializing. This is largely due to economic differences.
Can you imagine like a feminist hearing all this stuff? Her head is exploding. She's good at housework. She doesn't ask for a bride price. Oh my God, dude. Imagine hearing this shit out loud in the Western world where you've been brainwashed to think you're a strong, independent babe because you go to work and you're a cuck in a cubicle for another man, regardless, while the IRS wrecks your fucking wallet. Wow, dude. You could have been a stay-at-home mother. You could have been taken care of. Now you stress at work with deadlines and projects and all this other catty bullshit corporate environment where you gotta, hey Karen, hey, you look good today, have a great time. Yeah, wow, you did really good at presentation. You don't give a shit. You hate Karen's guts. Fuck, you traded in time with your children for that. Jeez.
The average monthly salary for a Vietnamese man is about 2,200 yuan, meaning that a Chinese man earning 5,000 yuan a month is seen as a great catch in Southeast Asia. However, in China's domestic dating market, that income level provides little advantage. A young Vietnamese woman from a rural area was asked how much bride price is typically required to marry a Vietnamese bride. She responded,
In Vietnam, a groom only needs to offer a cow, like the one behind me. It can sell for about 8,000 yuan. Some families even accept half a cow. But for a Chinese groom, the bride price is usually 10,000 to 20,000 yuan. That shouldn't be too high for Chinese men, right? Honestly, if someone truly loves me, I wouldn't even need the money.
In China's dating market, some women have set exceptionally high standards. Men earning less than 200,000 yuan per year are often overlooked, as they are seen as having no competitive advantage. For these women, an ideal partner must have luxury cars, a villa, and a million yuan salary. Anything less is dismissed outright. Some men have responded to this trend with humor, saying the issue is not about affordability, but about better value. Many women have encouraged men to see the world, and now it seems they are truly doing so. A matchmaker in Zhengzhou shared an experience.
I
met a great guy here, but he was dead set on marrying a Japanese woman.
Wow.
I was really confused and asked him, do you really think Chinese women aren't good enough? He said, women in China have too much leverage now, and he just can't afford to deal with it.
She explained that the man further clarified his reasoning. According to him, Chinese women have high expectations and bride prices are expensive. Despite having the financial means, he finds that many are unwilling to cook or do housework and often exhibit a princess attitude, demanding constant reassurance. He questioned why he should spend money only to encounter continual stress. In contrast, he mentioned that Japanese women, given financial security, are attentive and understanding in caring for their husbands. He saw no reason to prefer marrying a Chinese woman. Meanwhile, a matchmaker was chatting with a friend nearby.
See that guy over there? He makes $1 million a year. but he's been on more than 30 blind dates and every single one failed.
Huh? Why? He looks fine, tall and slim.
Because he insists on checking the medical records and hotel check-in history of every woman he
Wow.
Is he serious?
My man is doing the whole facts. He's checking medical records in every hotel you've ever checked in. Oh, shit. That's next level. That's pimp shit right there.
It's not
wow.
crazy. He just knows exactly what he wants.
Wow.
He says he can't accept marrying a woman who partied with other guys and then settle down with him just because he's a nice guy.
Wow.
He doesn't want to spend 3 generations worth of family savings to buy a house and car for someone who used him as a backup plan, only to give her a luxurious life. If that's the case, he would rather stay single forever. I have to admit, after hearing that, I really understood his perspective. This guy sees things very clearly.
For highly educated older single women in China, competition from Southeast Asian brides has not been a significant concern. These brides typically marry into 3rd and 4th tier cities or rural areas and come from modest backgrounds. However, the trend of marrying foreign women has expanded to include those from Russia, Belarus, Ukraine, Japan, South Korea, and even Germany, Sweden, and Italy. These women are not only attractive, but also often well-educated and financially independent. Predominantly from Gen Z, they pose new challenges for single women in China's major cities. A young man from Jinan recently married an Italian woman named Camilla. To welcome her family and friends, he hosted a lavish banquet at a top-tier restaurant and held an extravagant wedding ceremony.
Damn.
Observers praised the couple, calling them a perfect match. Some commented on the event's grandeur, suggesting that the groom's family must be very wealthy. Others noted that China's most eligible bachelors are increasingly being chosen by foreign women. At a matchmaking event, a Russian woman was introduced to 7 potential suitors. Each of them had strong credentials. Some came from well-off families, others had successful careers, and some had high academic achievements. The competition was intense, and women waiting for their turn to meet potential partners appeared visibly discouraged. A woman from Peru also attracted significant interest. In the end, she chose a doctoral student from the Chinese Academy of Sciences in Beijing. While international marriages often appear romantic, they also come with challenges, including cultural differences, language barriers, and lifestyle adjustments. Even within China, customs and traditions can vary significantly between regions. Marrying someone from another country can introduce even greater differences. The cultural gap in international marriages can sometimes turn initial happiness into long-term frustration. A lasting and happy marriage depends on mutual love and commitment.
There's a lot of work in an international relationship, but when the demographic pressures are that high, you will overcome anything. Hiring beautiful models to liven up an event is a time-honored marketing gimmick. This guy says, I cannot believe how beautiful these women are. Something is sus. The suddenness of this makes it feel like a CCP psyop. That's the one I saw. To convince people to get married and have kids. This is a basic economy. The CCP is basically creating competition. So other women have to lower their standards. This is propaganda. LOL, they're paid to show up. Some of these stories are very old, just been compiled together, actually. This does happen, but it's not as common as the video suggests. Bride price market collapsing fast. Oh, this one, look. As a foreign woman who did marry a Chinese guy, I can only say that it's not all sunshine and romance. The amount of abuse that occurs in these marriages is rampant. And navigating international custody battles in China is a whole other beast. I don't recommend it. Also, the Chinese men have power then. International custody battles, huh? Sounds like you're not just going to take the kids away from them. No, Chinese men are winning there. Okay. This guy says, what if there's no house? What if we have to pay a mortgage for 20 to 30 years? I see what you did there, China. LMAO. This says, they're not asking for a bride price or a house. I really don't understand what they're after. And that's why you're a leftover. Weird how China went from it's okay to marry foreigners to I want a foreigner spouse. Well, yeah, you got 30 million men, dude, that have no women. Well, you're going to have to do so on top of the princess syndrome that these Chinese city girls are showing us on all these videos. I mean, they're super spoiled. Of course, this was naturally going to happen. And then you have other things that weren't foreseen, like the war in Ukraine and Russia. That's creating pressure on Russian women and Ukrainian women, and not a shock if you've traveled around the world like Thailand or Dubai or parts of China to see that it's had an influx of these people escaping a war zone. So yeah, shit like this is going to increase. Very interesting video. Links will be in the description below. Appreciate you guys for tuning in. As usual, boys, we'll see you on the next one.